Jury determination could appear just like the boring antecedent to the juicier parts of a trial, but it can be pivotal to the result, and the groups of attorneys in previous President Donald Trump's criminal quiet cash trial, beginning Monday, will be attempting to select 12 members of the jury, as well as a few substitutes, who allow them the finest chance of winning. That regularly includes weeding out members of the jury with conclusions that might impact their choice. But how can you discover anybody in Manhattan who doesn't have a conclusion of Donald Trump? To discover out, USA Nowadays talked to jury and trial specialists, who said that Trump's and Manhattan area lawyer Alvin Bragg's trial groups may need to ferret out anybody who has an anti-Trump plan. Trump says those are likely votes to convict, and bragged to ensure a blameworthy decision on offer. Trump may moreover hunt for solitary wolves and individuals who doubt the equity framework, knowing that indeed a hung jury may shield him from the case for a long time on the off chance that he wins the November decision. It's a case that might twist the typical rules for criminal litigants, concurring to Jo Ellen Demetrius, a jury specialist who has worked on many high-profile trials, counting the O.J. Simpson kill trial. In an ordinary criminal case, it is the indictment that's trying to find the white, older male, and it is the defense that's searching for the minority person, the anti-police person. But in this case, it's really turned around, she said. Trump faces 34 lawful offense checks of distorting business records in a range to unlawfully impact the 2016 presidential decision, and jury determination will be the primary parcel of the trial starting Monday. Modern York requires a consistent decision from the 12 members of the jury to convict. The trade records at issue characterized installments from Trump to his previous legal counselor, Michael Cohen, as remuneration for legitimate administrations. In reality, they were reimbursements for a $130,000 quiet cash installment to keep grown-up film star Stormy Daniels from harming Trump's 2016 race chances by going open around having had sex with Trump, agreeing to prosecutors. They say the installment was a campaign commitment that surpassed government limits. Trump has argued not blameworthy within the case and has moreover denied Daniels' claim. The jury determination might final a few days, or indeed different weeks. Both trial teams will get a restricted number of authoritative strikes they can utilize, basically vetoes they can work out to avoid prospective jurors. However, when those run out, the arraignment or defense will be stuck with whichever potential juror comes up another, unless Merchant strikes the individual for cause, meaning the judge has concluded the individual doesn't meet modern York member of the jury capabilities, or probably can't be fair-minded within the case. The two sides can inquire Merchant to strike attendance based on reactions to questions, but Merchant may not continuously concur. He said sometime recently trial that a potential juror's Republican or equitable distinguishing proof on its claim isn't sufficient to strike that individual for cause. Bragg's office declined to comment for this story. Two legal counselors for Trump didn't react to a ask for comment. Here's a see at how the two sides may approach jury determination. Finding master or anti-Trumpers. Ahead of trial, Judge Juan Merchant decided on a list of 42 questions the planned legal hearers will be inquired orally in court, with both sides having the chance to inquire follow-up questions. Merchant isn't allowing questions about whether members of the jury voted for Trump or arranged to vote for him, but he is permitting a few questions that could reveal a juror's political inclinations. For illustration, has the potential attendant gone to a Trump rally or an anti-Trump rally? Has the individual ever taken after Trump or an anti-Trump group on social media? Where do the eminent members of the jury get their news? All those questions are on the questionnaire. Trump is impossible to urge numerous intense supporters on his Manhattan jury. Approximately 87% of Manhattan residents voted for Joe Biden within the final presidential race, concurring to Politico. But that doesn't cruel, there aren't political shades to consider, Mitchell Epner, a longtime modern York litigator and previous government prosecutor, told USA Nowadays. There are parts of diverse flavors among Manhattan Democrats, which go all the way from cleared out of the majority rule communists of America to individuals who in other districts would be, by profile, Republicans, he said. Epner added that indeed prosecutors wouldn't need a member of the jury who has an anti-Trump motivation, since on the off chance that it afterward comes out that a member of the jury did have a motivation to convict Donald Trump, that could be a premise for an offer. Seeking out for the juror who will hang the case. There are three fundamental results from a jury trial. The jury convicts the respondent, the jury vindicates the litigant, or the jury hangs. Meaning attendants can't come to an understanding, and the judge is constrained to announce a mistrial. Not at all like when a litigant is acquitted, prosecutors are able to retry respondents after mistrials. But retrials do not as a rule happen after there's a hung jury, Epner said. Prosecutors are reluctant to bring the case once more unless they accept there's a few more prominent open approach issue at stake, or they feel sure they would get a conviction from a future jury. Especially in this case, where there's a critical plausibility that the respondent might not be attempted a moment time, sometime recently the 2024 decision. A hung jury would be a major achievement for the defense group, Epner said. On the off chance that Trump wins the November race, there are noteworthy lawful questions approximately whether he might be indicted, whereas in office. That gives Trump's group indeed more impulse than an ordinary respondent to look for a juror who isn't pointing to fit in and might go against the grain. Defense Direct are regularly looking for iconoclasts, individuals who consider themselves to be solitary wolves or free spirits, or in some way countercultural, and who have doubt of the framework, agreeing to Epner. The social media polygraph test. Whereas legal hearers are replying questions, the trial groups will be conducting social media checks that are akin to polygraph tests on the potential legal hearers, agreeing to Demetrius. On high-profile cases, people who need to be on the jury may modify their reactions to what they accept one side or the other needs to listen, Demetrius told USA Nowadays. By looking at their verbal reactions to the survey, and after that comparing that to what they may have on social media, you can see on the off chance that they are being prospective, or on the off chance that they may be covering up something, she said. Here's in case of how that could play out. Potential attendants will be inquired on the off chance that they take after either Trump or an anti-Trump organization on social media. On the off chance that they say they don't, but their profiles show they do, that could raise questions approximately whether they are intentioned lying to weigh better their chances of getting on the jury. Building a relationship to final through trial. Jury selection isn't close to what the lawyers and defendant think of the potential members of the jury, concurring to Molly Murphy, a trial specialist who has worked on jury determination and trial technique across hundreds of cases. It's to around what potential legal hearers are considering approximately the individuals addressing them and the defendant who is observing. There's an association that begins, and the jury is surveying each lawyer's keenness, Murphy told USA Nowadays. They are truly always looking at how the lawyers behave, and how Mr. Trump is going to be carrying on, and how the indictment is behaving. Epner said a trial is an opportunity for each side to tell their possessed story, and stories are more powerful on the off chance that the gathering of people, in this case, the jury, trusts and likes the storyteller. Creating that relationship begins at the exceptionally starting.